Morning. Morning. I always do this. I always pull my chair in and make a proper loud squeak when I start off every single podcast.
In one of the episodes, I banged my shin off the table and it proper hurt. And you know when you try to keep it together in the mornings?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm fine. So, hello everybody. Is that camera tilted toward this way?
I don't know.
It knows where it wants to look.
Yeah, innit?
I think we should roll with it though.
Yeah.
We'll all leave.
Yeah. So, hi. We have a guest on. Woohoo! What the hell's going on?
I know.
We have a guest.
Finally.
Caffeine kicking in already.
Yeah.
The caffeine is hitting the veins. This morning's drink of choice is no different to any other morning, any other drink of choice in the morning. Castroni coffee, supplying the caffeine hit with can of water, supplying the quench thirster. But our guest today is the amazing Gemma Stanley.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast, Coffee Shop Opinions.
Coffee Shop Opinions.
Be prepared to answer questions that can ruin your career.
Yeah.
Well, that's an introduction in itself, isn't it? Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
You're
If
more
you
than
don't
welcome.
follow Gemma on Instagram, she's got about 1 million followers, I think.
Million, billion, something
Yeah.
along with them. Billions.
Yeah.
It's up there, isn't it?
She's up there. Now Gemma is a customer, a long-serving customer. Her and her fella Paul. I call him fella. I've never used that term.
Fella.
I was thinking about it today, how to address. Is it fiance, husband, partner?
It's fiance.
Fiance.
Although that sounds really odd.
Yeah.
No, like I still like going to my partner and then I'm like, well, actually, we're engaged.
Yeah.
It still sounds so weird saying it.
Well, I'll actually come to that because I have spent a very long time going through your Instagram,
Oh gosh.
trying to get some early days pictures of Gemma to ask what's going on in the picture, for one,
Right.
what's it all about,
Yeah.
and one of them involves the ring. So we'll come to that and I'll ask you a bit more about Paul. The
Should I be
fiance.
scared?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
See,
So,
at the conversation, just going back to the conversation of fiance, I had this conversation yesterday, and Rebecca, I don't like calling you fiance, but I also don't like calling you my partner because it sounds like I'm gay.
all right.
Okay, and I was like, but I use that terminology all the time. My
Okay.
partner,
My partner.
I say partner instead of other half because it's like you're not one half of one whole. You know, you are your own person.
Yeah.
Opinion.
So I use partner.
Yeah, I use partner.
Yeah.
I use partner. I'm married. Been married for nearly 5 years, and yeah, it's one of them where if you say wife too many times, I feel like people are looking at you like, we get it that she's your wife. We get it. You're married, so you just drop the name or partner instead.
So,
So we want to just get a bit.
you said wife too much.
Already too much. I want to get to know a bit more about you, Gemma, and what you do as a job, as a career. Looking on your Instagram, you have the heading as coach, and I want to know a bit more about that word coaching or coach, because I don't know. Is it? Are you the same as a PT? Are you not a PT? Are you a life coach? What are you?
The ever elusive question. So, I essentially started a coaching company called Elevate.
Mhm.
But kind of backtracking before then, I've been, a teacher, PT for nearly 10 years, which, makes me feel really old. But, so that's how it started.
You were 15 when you started.
Let's just pretend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am a female performance coach, and what that essentially means is at Elevate, we work with women and we provide them with the education and tools that they need throughout the process of, losing weight, gaining weight, building muscle, whatever their physical fitness goal is and health goal, so that they, never quote unquote have to diet again.
Okay.
Against fad diets, against quick fixes, because they're working the short term, but they're not providing that knowledge and that education, that baseline that people need to live that healthy life and maintain those goals that they achieve.
Yeah.
So it's providing that understanding, that education basis as well.
How did you get into this? Because going through your Instagram, there is a...
How far did you scroll?
I got right to the bottom.
Like it.
I went right to the bottom because what I wanted was like a starting point, and then something that you've achieved, and then also just a picture in between. And there is a kind of clear line where there's lots of like going out pictures, parties, pictures of cocktails, pictures of eating out, like eating fancy food.
This is why people delete Facebook when they leave uni, so you can't scroll back.
Yeah. And then there is a line where it becomes like the training sort of things.
See, I think I first met Gemma, and this is a long time ago. It could be like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I worked in Dean Clough, and you came in there, and I think you were just not starting, but you were in the process of going to your first competition.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you were in like that stage of kind of have just a black coffee, straight up. No oat milk.
No oat milk. Who was I?
Yeah.
Who even created oat milk?
Who goes, you know what, I'm going to milk
Who
this
thought I'm
oat?
going to just squeeze these oats out and put it in my brew? Same with potatoes. You can get potato milk now. Is it, or potato substitute? It's not milk, is it?
Yeah, you can get all types of milk. I mean, we've gone off.
Track, yeah.
Yeah, but you can get all types of milk. Pea milk. Have you ever tried that?
No. Sounds vile.
It sounds vile, right? But it's actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Is it as good as black coffee? No milk whatsoever.
No.
Is it as good as cold hard cow juice? Probably not. I'll stick with that. So, how did you get into it? Where did you make that change? Or was there a change? Or was it just like, I want to start exercising, I want to get into this properly? Or
Okay, so I've always, I'm talking, from being a kid, I've always been competitive in sports or dancing. And when I was in secondary school, I was dancing semi-pro, so we were touring, danced in Disneyland, Royal Hall, all over. And then obviously went to university and did dance at university as well. Got into competitive cheerleading, so you can see that, passing through.
Yeah.
Left uni, and then it was like, okay, you're too old to dance, you should pretty much retire at this age, because, if you're not going to pursue it as a career, there's not really, anywhere to go. Obviously, competitive cheerleading ended because that was a university squad. So I got into training myself. And to be honest, I look back, I stepped foot in a gym, a small handful of times while I was at uni.
Yeah.
It's probably where all those cocktail photos came from. And started training, started teaching because I wanted initially to be a school teacher.
Yeah.
Quickly realised that wasn't what I wanted to do, and ended up doing breakfast clubs, school clubs, lunchtime clubs for schools, teaching extracurricular. I was substituting in schools and working on the gym floor at the same time, and that just kind of evolved. I was on the gym floor in a private health club.
Yeah.
And they asked me to start PTing people before I was qualified. Bit dodgy, but
Yeah.
So did my qualifications, and it just evolved from there. And moved to Halifax 6 years ago, correct? And then
Don't know how I remember.
and I miss that performing side of things. It's cheesy to say, but I think it runs through my veins. I'm very, very competitive.
Yeah.
Which is when I got into obviously bikini bodybuilding. Did that for 4 or 5 years. Did really, really well, and then obviously from there did more PT, gym floor. Moved completely online actually 2 weeks before the first lockdown.
All right.
So I was like, had enough of this, I'm worth more. I'm gonna move online, so I can essentially work with more women rather than being, kind of confined and restricted to just the people that are in our area. And yeah, it took off from there. 2 weeks before lockdown hit. I thought,
Yeah.
Can we swear?
Yeah.
Shit hits the fan. You know, what do I do now? I've not got a job, and I've just basically left, and never looked back since.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like you were already prepared, like going online 2 weeks before lockdown. Did you know that lockdown was going to happen, or that was just something that you decided to do and it just worked out?
So where I was working at the time, amazing place, but just felt really undervalued.
Yeah. Do you want to slate them on
No.
this? Okay.
No, it was amazing. I've had some great years there, but it just got to the point where I feel like I'd outgrown where I was, based. And yeah, I decided to move on all online. Spoke to the clients that I had at the time. They were happy with that because they were training on their own anyway. And it just grew from there. And obviously, then you get the flexibility of being able to do as many hours as you want, put as much into it as you want, without having to get up at 4 a.m. and not home till 11.
Yeah.
So, it worked out, and I love it.
Good.
Yeah.
There's a difference, and if you just said, "Oh, I don't get up at 4 a.m. anymore," you got up at 5 a.m. this morning, right? Not to train.
You can't just say,
Not
like,
to get
I don't get
coffee.
up at 4 a.m. anymore and then get up at 4:05
Right.
and have that.
Yeah, she got up at 5 a.m. this morning to do a sourdough bread. That's why she got up this morning.
It's perfect, though.
Dedication, that. I've seen it on your story this morning. It does look
We
perfect.
need a photo of that. We'll show everybody your sourdough bread.
Do you know why
Send me
this?
that.
I'll get the photo and put it on the YouTube video so it'll pop up.
That sourdough has got blood, sweat, and tears into it. On the
hold
preparation, on the preparation it says prep time 10 minutes. I'm like, well, that's a lie because it takes 12 hours to prove it at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's great. Very impressive.
Sourdough, I've been talking about this at home for the past few weeks.
See,
Like, trying to make, because we have sourdough here,
Yeah.
and you end up getting used to it, don't you? Like, it's all that we eat here. I'm a Warburton's orange type of guy, me, at home.
Thick white loaf through.
Yeah. But I do love a good sourdough, and it's the making the culture. Don't you have to make a culture for it?
Yeah, the starter.
The starter, yeah. That,
it's one of
it's
them
not for me.
things you've got to, you either do it properly or you just don't.
Yeah, I will just walk then.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just keep buying it.
That's fine. Okay.
When did Elevate come along then?
So Elevate
Was it?
Yeah, was just before lockdown. No, I tell a lie, it wasn't. Backtrack.
Okay.
Elevate was about 6 months after, so it was, what year are we in? 2022. It was about...
Everybody's doing that.
Yeah, try to figure out what year.
time
what
just
year it is,
blends
yeah.
in, yeah.
Last 2 years have just gone.
It's weird that my
Absolutely,
organisation's
2017.
been around longer in COVID than it has prior, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I started in 2019, February the 14th, 2019, so Unmasked has been... What are you laughing at?
2019, about 14.
Oh, did I say 14 then?
No, he said 2019, but you said it about
Oh, did I say it too many times? Sorry. But yeah, it's been around post, like in COVID, longer than it has prior. It's weird. Sorry, so Elevate came along.
Sorry,
No.
interruption.
I was just going to say what a perfect time to have something so amazing available to people.
Yeah.
When pretty much the entire world needed that kind of support.
Yeah.
Remember when everything like kind of shut down? I do remember when it was. It was March 23rd. I remember that day because it's Becky's birthday. We were meant to go out for a meal.
Yeah.
And it got cancelled because everything just shut, and she would go.
Bloody hell.
But when it shut down and all these PTs came out, and this was great. I remember tweeting about this. If you have me on Twitter, don't follow me because I tweet absolute rubbish. But it all shut down, and all these PTs were slating home workouts, right?
Yeah,
Came
yeah.
out and were like, do your home workouts, get to the field and do them, and I was just like, oh, okay. I see you're doing home workouts now. Like, yeah. Like, it was brilliant. But the online coach thing, I've seen a lot of people do it. But some of them are just like, a little bit half-assed. Like, because you can just, everybody, like, this is no disrespect to a PT. I don't want to throw disrespect, but I feel like
disrespecting PTs.
I'm not disrespecting PTs. This is my opinion, right? But I used to say this a lot. Why do you need a PT?
Yeah.
Right? Why do I need a PT? I know how to go to a gym. I know how to work out. I know how to write my own plan, right? But is that because I've done like sports or like I did sports science at college, nutrition, and I've got like a base? But I think if I did one PT session with you or with Logan, because he was a fitness coach, and I'm like, right, I know what I'm doing now. I can just do it on my own.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until maybe 2 years ago now. I was like, you know what? Maybe I do need someone to just fucking whip my ass, because you lose that little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you could sort of apply that into other different places. Let's just take my line of work, for example, like counselling. Like, you could probably think, well, why does someone need a counsellor? Like, why would I need a counsellor? I know what's wrong. I know what I need to do. I need to go out. I need to get vitamin D. I need to, exercise or whatever. So why do I need? And I think some people's, you might answer this differently, but I think some people's brains work completely different. As in, some people need a routine placed in their life, not one that they generate. So like, someone needs someone to say, right, you need to get up now and you need to go to the gym now because you've got work later.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we do. I always say, if you want a PT, if you want someone there by your side to count reps, great. If you need to be governed by specific times, book a PT session at the gym.
Yeah.
But usually, and obviously I've been there myself, I've done it for years, so I'm not slating in the slightest, but what I can say now is that the women that we work with and the results that we've got since going completely online has just, it's completely transformed, because it's not just about rocking up for that hour or 2 hours every week and not having the support in between.
Yeah.
It's the accountability. We help them to look at their schedule, and if you've got, we spoke about time blocking, the other week. If you've got kids, or if you work, 16-hour shifts, or if you work nights, like, how do you need to go to the gym, you need to eat well, and you need to get outside, but that's not people's issues. It's how do they fit it into their day, and when they're feeling like shit, what do they need to have in place for when motivation is lacking, because it's finite, it doesn't always exist, it's something that you've got to work on. So how do you get those habits instilled, how do you stack those habits, and how do you create those daily routines so that something then just becomes second nature and you don't think about it?
Yeah, I used to think, how did
Does that answer your question?
I'm on it does. Yeah.
So get a PT booked in.
I've got PT. But that's the thing. There's so many things that I used to question. Like, you just mentioned the counselling thing. You used to say a lot. Like, why do I need counselling? I know I'm depressed. Yeah. I know I'm out there, and I just know what I need to do to get out of it, right? And I also think, I always used to say, the first thing is you admit that you need help, right? Because there are a lot of people out there that are depressed and they'll just go, I'm depressed. And it's like, but do you want help? And it's like, well, I don't actually know if I want help. Well, I needed help, and I always thought I could just do it on my own. And then I got to a point where I couldn't do it on my own, so I would see Logan. That'll be deep. But sorry. But back to the PT side of things, I always used to think, I don't need a PT or whatever. But I've got friends who are PTs, and I'm like, you know what? I see a different side of it. And the first time I ever saw an online coach was a guy I follow on Instagram. I don't know if you follow him. It's called Nick Cheadle. Shout out Nick Cheadle. Right, this guy is from Australia, and he's got loads of followers on Instagram. We always talk about social media later. Always loads of followers. I don't even have one of his plans, or I've never paid for one of his plans. But every month, it must be a generic email, he'll still email. And it says, hi Craig, and then he'll list out all the stuff that he's got going on. And I'm like, I'm not signed up for anything, but email. And I'm just like, that's fucking good shit. Like, how have you done that? I want to send emails out to people.
I mean, I can show you how to do that.
Right, so we figured out a couple of weeks ago, me and Logan figured out a couple of weeks ago, Logan showed me a load of stuff to do. I've had a MacBook now for 7, 8 years, and he was like 2 weeks ago, do you know how to do this? No, like, it's just literally a shift in thing. I like,
Copy and paste.
Command.
yeah.
We did that, copy and
I
paste.
was like,
We were pressing
right
command
click
and then
in,
right click.
and, like, you know, doing all this, and I was just like, oh,
Showed him how to screenshot.
yeah.
Do you know how to,
How old are you?
31, and I don't know how to use technology.
Didn't use the back of his hand to try and.
Yeah, I'm like,
Uh,
put my glasses on like that and read it.
You know that PT that you're on about in Australia?
Yes.
Like he's ingrained in your mind now. And you say that you don't buy anything from him. You don't. You know, you follow him on Instagram and you might pick up a workout from him, but you don't actually get all from him.
Mm.
He will probably be the first person that you go to though when you do decide to. That
Stay-
guy's done it right.
Stay
He's-
top of mind.
Yeah, he's in your mind and you respect him for what he does. You like that he sends you these emails and you haven't even signed up to it.
Excited.
That's what we try and do, and just going back to trying to help as many people as we possibly can. You know, it's not all about come and pay us and we'll take your money and you join the team. Yes, we have, you know, those one-to-one clients, but we also have a huge free group on Facebook where we do the same thing. You know, we do a Facebook Live every week, we give away something free every week, we give away free workouts, because for those people that coaching isn't accessible for,
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
there's a lot of people that coaching isn't accessible for. You know, you've got to think that PTs, coaching, counselling, therapy, it all costs.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you know, that's the way the world works. Businesses have to run. But if we can, you know, touch just one new person every week, stay top of mind, then job done.
That's, and like that there, so what you do and what you do, to me, as a person, they go hand in hand. So when I'm feeling a little bit, oh shit, right, I'm like, right, I think about Logan and I'm like, how you can help me. And then I also think about, not Gemma, I don't think about Gemma, I think about training and going to the gym.
Good save there.
I think about training and think, right, I need to go and work out, or which at the moment is a little bit difficult with my knee. I don't know if you know I've hurt my knee. I mentioned it about 4 times last podcast. But yeah, like, so I do that. I'm like, right, I'll go to gym, work out, and it'll give me a bit of,
Make you feel better.
make me feel better.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of go hand in hand. Like, food side of things, I'm a little bit naff with. I just eat whatever. I ate a full dairy milk, massive bar thing last night watching a film, and then a full bag of fudge minis. They're unreal. They're unreal. I can't just help it. I can't help myself. I'm just boom. Yeah.
I ate half a bag of, like a share bag of salt and vinegar, Chris. But it got to where my mouth were like peeling away.
Salt and vinegar, Chris. I have like 3
Yeah,
on my
just
hand. My tongue's like that.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Sweet or salty or savoury?
Oh, sweet all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet all day long.
I'm a savoury guy. Me, I could eat crisps all day. I could just shovel crisps in my mouth.
Alright, sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
Yeah, boy.
Alright.
What crisp is the best then?
The best crisp?
Yeah.
Right, so this has changed over the last few weeks.
Oh, here we go. I'll just get comfy.
Yeah. So I probably would have said chili heat waves, Doritos.
Yeah.
For 1 texture, 2 size.
Yeah.
It's a good size. It just goes straight in. You don't have to bite it in half. You don't have to fuck about with it.
You like putting stuff in your mouth?
I love putting big things in my mouth, but sometimes it's just too much, you know, back in your throat. And but I've changed my opinion. Salt and vinegar Pringles,
Oh, good
or
shout. Good shout.
prawn cocktail Pringles.
No, veto.
No, the only problem with Pringles is the can's too small for my hand.
For everybody's
It
hand.
pisses me. Well, for everyone's hand, it pisses me off to get to the bottom. Why
Like
can't
the
they make the
first
cans
10,
wider?
The first 10 you're good, and then it's like after that it's like
It is a double-edged. Like if they made it wider, they'd probably be all crumbs, like you know from banging about.
Yeah.
And then the crisp would be the perfect size if they made them bigger.
True. So yeah, probably Pringles. What's your favourite sweet stuff then?
Wait there.
All right. Okay. Sorry.
Right, you said prawn cocktail then. If you're having a prawn cocktail crisp, the only one to have is Seabrook, in my opinion.
Have you had Pringles prawn cocktail?
Yeah, garbage. Sour cream or barbecue, right? salt and vinegar for me is right. The worst crisp flavour of all time is cheese and onion. Don't at me. Don't. Right? It is. It's awful. Right?
Yeah, Walker's cheese and onion though. They're good.
I'm out of this conversation. I'm not a crisp person.
No?
Someone gets like crisp, like chip and dips.
Yeah.
I'm in, but only maybe small handful in the mouth.
So the best crisp of all time is Sensations sweet chili.
You're making this sound like a fact and not an opinion. Like
It's
you're
a
telling me-
fact. It is a fact. No,
So,
in my opinion, sweet chili Sensations. Try them.
I've changed my mind a bit.
I win!
No, because you mentioned Seabrooks and I forget about Seabrooks.
Seabrooks.
Canadian ham
Seabrooks.
or pickled onion Seabrooks.
Any flavour of Seabrook. Good.
Yeah.
This is quickly spiralling. I feel like I should get my notepad out.
Yeah.
Right, sweet.
So sweet stuff, you two are the sweet.
So when I go out and I have a dessert, the first thing I look for on a menu, not even names, I look at dessert.
Chocolate fudge cake.
Chocolate fudge cake.
Yeah.
With ice cream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is the one, right? With what? With ice cream. You said
Yeah.
ice cream really weird. Then.
With ice cream.
With ice cream.
With ice cream, right? Ice cream. And then if they don't have that, then I'll leave.
You leave?
No, I don't leave. I'm joking.
All right.
Right. But after that, if it's on a menu, you've got to look at like sticky toffee pudding, custard, or something like that. Like, but it's chocolate fudge cake.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Chocolate fudge cake and ice cream or cheesecake.
Cheesecake is good.
Over the past few years, I've tried to purposely change my dessert, my mains and stuff when I go out
Mm-hmm.
because I always eat the same stuff.
Variety.
Yeah. So like when it comes to dessert, I'll purposely bypass the chocolate fudge cake, or try to at least. I'll be like,
No.
I'll try something else like the sorbet or whatever,
Sorbet.
or like the cherry compote. Do you know, like just to have a bit of variety. But then I do this especially at Christmas. So when you go out and you staff Christmas do's, your friends do's, and you go for meals, and you always go and get the Christmas menu, and everyone gets Christmas dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't get the point because you're gonna have one anyway at home. So like, I don't love it too much. I don't love Christmas dinner so much that I would have 4 over the space of a month. Like
I would have.
It's
I'm
just a
having a
glorified
roasted-
Sunday lunch.
it is, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just a glorified Sunday lunch.
That's
It's just the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, opinion.
Oh,
Mashed potato on Christmas dinner.
See,
Brew it or stew it.
I would brew that.
Would you?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm stewing it.
I'm brewing.
I think it's stupid.
I just like potato.
Too much potato though, innit?
Why?
Because you have roast potatoes.
I've got an opinion,
Go on.
and we had a big debate between the girls on this one. Yorkshire puddings on Christmas dinner, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Ah, yes. I'm a
They
brewer.
were like, absolutely not. It's not a Christmas Day thing. Yorkshire puddings. It's a Sunday lunch. I'm like, Christmas lunch is Sunday lunch.
Yeah. It is, yeah. The only difference is pigs in blankets.
Yeah. Pigs in
Maybe a bit
blankets.
of applesauce or cauliflower cheese.
What,
Yeah.
you don't have apple sauce year round?
I know.
No.
Apple sauce is a game changer of a condiment.
I think it depends what you eat it with, though, doesn't it?
I tell you what is a good
Yeah.
one. Cranberry sauce.
No.
What?
I'm out.
It's alright. It's one of them that you put on a plate and have a bit of a dab. But
See, I put mint sauce and everything.
I put mint sauce on everything. I put mint sauce on the side and then mint sauce in my gravy.
Just all over the top.
Yeah.
That was my dugga-dugum. That was my mint sauce
I'm
porridge.
also Coleman's English mustard type of guy.
Mustard is a good one though, but I only have it on like grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to
burgers.
go back to these chocolate bars because
Yeah, we need to go back sweet. 'Cause
favourite
Yeah.
chocolate bar, and I'm going to jump in and say, maybe not favourite, but timeouts,
time
Really?
are good.
because you've got to eat them right.
What
Yeah.
a basic chocolate bar.
But yeah, but
Yeah, but you've got there are chocolate bars out there that you've got to eat right.
cup of tea,
Yeah.
bite both ends after the timeout, and then use it like
And
a
then
straw.
straw it.
Twix
Yeah.
for that.
Twix.
See?
You do it with the Twix,
Put it in the freezer first,
and then the caramel
Bite one.
melts, and it's like,
Yeah.
ooh.
game changer.
You're not a sweet guy, so we can't.
I am a sweet guy. I just
Yeah.
prefer to. I am a very
What's your
sweet
favourite
guy.
chocolate bar?
Crunchy.
Crunchies are good.
Yeah.
They are nice, but once
They've
you
gone in like
They're underrated
seconds,
though.
so.
Like as in,
do you eat all the chocolate off the outside?
no, I just eat it. Mate. Just eat it normal.
anything that is solid milk chocolate that you can dunk in a cup of tea
Yeah.
that then melts. You can do that time and time again.
What's your view on?
This is spiraling this podcast into so many different angles.
Yeah. What's your view, opinion, brew it or stew it, bounty?
Yeah, it's going.
They're always the last ones in the top.
Yeah.
These guys, bounties.
I'm
are
stewing
class.
about it.
Brew, they are unreal.
I'm stewing about it and standing on it.
I absolutely
Dog shit.
hate with a passion. Double
Orange
deckers. Double deckers.
Double deckers.
They're dead.
Yeah.
Orange cream.
Yeah, get
In
out.
what, in-
Get out.
Yeah, get out orange
Yeah.
creams. And strawberries. And strawberry creams.
I'm getting. I'm done. Right. No.
Yeah.
I can't believe what I just heard.
The best quality streets around disc.
No.
It's a round disc or just the gold stick.
So if anyone's
No,
listening to
joking.
this, thinking about health and fitness,
Yeah.
I am all for
Look
having
at
chocolate in
So
your diet.
listen. This is an opinion, right? Listen. Just sidetrack a little. Going back to the fitness thing. Does anyone else do this? And I don't know if they do. I do. So you get to Christmas time and you go, like you're a fitness instructor, coach, sorry, and you teach people how to eat nutrition and stuff like this.
Eat nutrition.
Go mate. Come mate.
Let's start again, right. Does anyone get to Christmas time and go, fuck, it's Christmas? Yeah? You do that. So I go into the supermarket and you know when they put the tubs on at £5 or like £3 and you think, yeah, it's Christmas. I go home that night and I finish the tub.
Yeah?
You ever done that?
No.
Finish the tub.
I've never done that either.
Why do you do that though?
Because I like chocolate.
Okay, but would you do that every other day?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. If I could do that every day and not put weight on, right, then I would. When I was like 20, 21, I'd be training like every day, twice a day, so I'd do that. Now I train 4 times a week and yeah.
What changes though with it being Christmas? You know, when it gets to Christmas and everybody just goes, fuck it, it's Christmas.
It's winter, it's cold, I'm depressed as fuck.
But
I just want to sit in bed.
Why does that 2 weeks of Christmas differ to, you know, 2 weeks at the beginning of this month when it was miserable, it was cold, it was snowing, you know, like everyone's feeling rubbish? Why does that differ to the Christmas period?
It's I don't know. That's what I don't get. Why do
It's
people
a
get
mindset.
Why do people get to January? Yeah, they go, oh, new me, new year, new me, and then start going. Why not start that in just December?
And this is what, you know, what I try and work on with people. I think, like, hats off to anyone who gets to January and says, you know what, new year, I've got some goals, I'm going to go smash them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amazing. But if you can have that same mindset when it gets to the beginning of December, you know, you're already setting yourself up with those habits so that when it comes to Christmas, you're not in that sack it mindset. I'm going to eat everything in sight and then I've got to eat everything before January just because it's in the cupboards and, you know, don't buy it in the first place.
Yeah.
Have little and often. You know, I'm a huge believer in there being no such thing as good and bad foods. Things have just got better nutritional value.
Yeah.
I have chocolate every single day because if I didn't, and I know this from experience, I had a really bad relationship with food coming out of competing. If I don't have, you know, chocolate every day, every other day, or have that balanced approach to food, I go the opposite way and eat everything like to ridiculous points of where I would feel sick.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's obviously everybody's different, but that's how I've managed to change that approach of my relationship with food, because it's not on it or off it, all or nothing. You know, you've got to understand that calories are calories.
Yeah.
Some are better than others, and you've got to look after your health from the inside out as well. But having chocolate isn't going to be the end of, you know, you getting results or not if you have that balance of everything else.
That's that. What you said there in big terms, like is looking after your health. So when I hear that, you get a lot of people go, boring though, innit? Like when you go out and go, I've only got 1,000 calories left, or whatever, or can't really eat that because, you know, I'll feel a bit or whatever. And people go, it's boring, just eat whatever. or they'll slate you for eating food. Like, I bet when you were competing, how many times were people just like, oh, you can just have one? Like, that in itself, competing, how hard was that?
It's infuriating.
Yeah.
Because I think when you have a goal and you set your mind to something, you would hope that people around you support you.
Yeah.
What also came to light is just a lack of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had people in my life who were like, oh, just have a drink, it's fine. You know, one drink's not going to hurt. It's like, no, one drink won't hurt. I know that. But I also know that if I have one drink, I'm only letting myself down.
Yeah.
I've got this goal and I've set my mind to it, and if I can achieve it, then I know that I can do anything. I think I also found as well with some people that it's their insecurities being projected.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I got that. I got that feeling because I did that once. Like, we did not this year, last year, the David Goggins challenge. And before, everyone was going out and running. And obviously I trained for it, because if I didn't, I would have died. But they were going out and running, and a lot of them were getting up at like 5 a.m. And if they're listening now, you know who you are. And I had a bit of a moan. I was like, fucking 5 a.m. for boring, blah, 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 getting up at that time. You don't need to get up at that time. Get up whenever you want and to train whenever you want. And in my head, I was like, wish I could get up at 5 a.m. Like, you know what I mean? A little bit like, wish I could do that.
Yeah, so is the word insecurities then the right word? Is it more possibly jealousy?
I think mine was a little bit jealous.
So when you have the friends that do say, oh, come on, just have a drink or have a chocolate or whatever, or sleep in. Just have a sleep-in train whenever you want. Is it actually possibly? I don't know if jealousy is even the right word, but yeah.
Do you think jealousy
Well, maybe
comes from
it is.
insecurities then?
Yeah, possibly. But yeah.
I think you've also got to think just the 5 a.m. thing. You know, when we were speaking about schedules and time blocking, me getting up at 5, 6 a.m. works for me.
Yeah.
Doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
So, the guys that you were training for 5 a.m. works for them in their routine, but for you, you've got kids and you've got family, and sometimes you're just not a morning person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. Myself and Paul, we live together. I get up at 6, 6:30 every morning because I'm a morning person. He stays up until 3 because he's a night owl, so he will work whilst I'm asleep.
Yeah.
So we sometimes feel like passing ships, but it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to find what works for you, aren't you?
Yeah. You said something the other day. We had a conversation. I think it was me, you, Paul, and we were talking about obsession. You said a quote, and I was like, that's a really good point. And I was just like, I can't remember the quote for the life in me, so I'm hoping you know what it is. And it was something like obsession, like when people you're obsessed with your you're obsessed with the podcast, or you're obsessed with training, or whatever.
That comes back to the exact same conversation though about what we've just had, as in it could be insecurities, it could be jealousy, it could be all these combination of all these things. But it's you're obsessed with this podcast.
But I see
enjoy it.
Yeah,
and they want to be on it and do it, and
they
wish that they had the confidence to come on and speak in front of a camera or on the internet and stuff like that. Could be a possible answer.
I think it was it something like obsession is something to do with dedication?
It was something along the lines of, and I'm probably going to butcher this, but obsession is a word that Lays used to describe a dedicated.
Yeah. And I was like,
ooh,
boo,
boo,
yeah, boo. If you didn't hear that, I'll try and hide in there because I can't remember what it is.
Or you'll try hide.
You will. Sorry, Logan will, because he does all the.
Yeah, nice one, mate.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, obsession is a
word the lazy use.
A word that lazy use
to describe a dedicated.
Boom. That is a good one.
Right. Do you? Sorry, just quick one about fitness again. Do you have any inspiration behind getting involved in the online sort of thing? I can't. What's he called? Joe? Is it Joe? He does the school thing now. Joe Wicks. He was sort of
Joe Wicks' name.
Listen,
the guy was on TV.
I worked in the gym environment for 10 years, and I don't have any involvement in that area anymore. It's not something that I enjoy anymore. It's not something that I follow or out like that. I did my time there, and it's a shame that I don't have that fire in me to do it anymore. I say it's a shame, but I don't care. Because I enjoy my life as it is now. I enjoy doing what I do for a job. I enjoy coming in here. I enjoy not having to worry about any calories or calorie deficit or out like that, or putting programs together and things. So, but yeah, Joe Wicks, is he? And he's sort of like the pioneer of online. Would you say?
No.
Or am I wrong? I'm wrong. I thought he was sort of the pioneer of online creating programs for people.
No, I just think he's very good at marketing.
Or is he just good at it? All right, okay.
I don't think he's the most knowledgeable.
All right,
I think
okay.
he's just very good at shouting about what he does and getting people, excited, which is amazing. What he did over lockdown is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, hats off to him. But do I think he's the pioneer? No, absolutely not.
Okay. Who do you gather inspiration from? Anybody that people can, maybe listeners or viewers can probably have a look at, or obviously your page as
Mine,
for
yeah.
education. You give a lot of free, like I've seen, like 5 ways or things like that.
I think for me, in terms of fitness inspiration, not anymore.
No.
I used to, again, going back to competing, comparison was a huge part of my life, which is so negative. So, I spent a lot of time working on moving away from that, and that's what I try and instill now. So in terms of the drive behind doing what I do, it's because I want people to have that knowledge and education. Education is power.
Yeah.
Every day is a school day, and it riles me when you see social media fitspos that have got thousands and thousands of followers that are charging for a basic training program. Go Google it. Go and download one off my page for free. Don't pay someone for a basic program that they've written it just because they've got thousands of followers.
I would imagine that they've probably not even written it specific to that person.
No, not at all.
I mean, I worked for the council as gym instructor, so my role was basically a PT, but I had a set salary. I was paid I could have 20 people come in and you do 20 different programs. But like for people that you can't afford your 90 quid for a program that's a basic program, go to your public gym, and the gym instructor will probably whip something up for you and say this is a good starting process.
Yeah, I think it's also more the drive behind coaching is, for me, a big part of it lends itself to what you do. It's the looking after your mental health.
Yeah.
Because as you said right at the beginning, Craig, you exercise because it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And when you don't train, you know that it's probably because you've stopped moving and you're not doing as much.
Mm-hmm.
And it affects your mental health so much, and especially over the last 2 and a bit years, that's been evident of people realising that just going out for a walk is going to change your day. We've got single mums, we've got career-driven people who physically don't have the time to go to the gym because they're on it all day. But what we're able to do is say, okay, so just take 30 minutes for a bit of self-care and go out for a walk and eat well, and you're going to see a change, and then we can start and implement workouts. It's not about having that set, strict training program. It's about, as we said before, looking what you can implement into your life that's going to be sustainable, because it's those sustainable changes that are going to mean you can then maintain your results and your long-term health.
Yeah.
If you want a quick fix and you want to get ripped and you're only thinking about the aesthetics, which is what competing was, then fine, but you've got to understand that you're putting your health on the line.
Yeah.
And I did.
Luckily, I'm shredded.
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
I just think it's important to touch on though, because at that those years through my life, I went into it completely blind, and I paid for a coach, and she was a pro, no disrespect, but I didn't have that support and education. It was just follow your plan. I ate the same thing. I kid you not, the same thing every day for
Chicken
4
rice
or
and broccoli.
5 months. Bro diet. I ate the same thing, and I I did very, very well, but it's addictive.
Yeah.
Did your emotions change during that time? I have
It was a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, I have
awful.
a really good friend that got into bodybuilding, started competing, and 2 weeks before he would compete, he would tell us, like, look, I'm going to be an arsehole, and I'm sorry for this, but it's just, I'm putting my body through the absolute limits, and I might snap, I might have a go. Once I've finished, I'll be a different person. Did you find the same thing happen to you?
100%.
Yeah.
How I'm still in a relationship, I do not know.
I say that to myself every single day. I wake up and go, I'm sorry I'm a dick.
I mean, did it help that Paul competed?
He did,
he
yeah.
competed as well,
Yeah,
didn't
he
he?
did. We competed at the same time. I think we avoided each other for a good 2 months.
I think you would probably understand each other a bit better when you're in the same game.
Yeah, it's hard work, but if you go into it with that understanding, then you know what to expect.
Yeah.
I think the issue was I went into it without that understanding.
Yeah.
Didn't have the support. I lost my period, which is dangerous. I lost it for years.
Okay.
Because you're at such low body fat for a female, you're not supposed to get to those levels. My relationship with food, as I said, was awful when I came out of it, to the point where, I've spoken about this on my social media loads of times, but I used to, go to the supermarket, buy, family size bars of chocolate or cookies or whatever, sit in the car and eat them, and then put the rubbish in the outside bin so that no one knew.
I do that now.
Yeah, but but it's on a serious note, that's not healthy.
No.
Mentally, it's not healthy.
No.
And that's because things have been so restrictive, and I'm not being, didn't know what to expect, not being told this is potentially how you're going to feel. But also, I didn't feel that I could open up to my coach because I didn't have that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Which I think if you are going to go down, whether it is PT, in person, or an online coach, you have to find someone that you have that rapport with.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's just an exchange.
There's a fine line with it as well, isn't there, of like the coach that you had not having that rapport, and then having too much rapport though, and it being a friendly thing.
Yes.
That's what I found difficult, is creating friendships, and you don't have the same drive and the same. As a friend, it's happened. I'm calling out your mate, but it's happened only because we know each other really well. But you said, "Oh, can I come in on Monday and have a chat with you?" And 100%.
Yeah.
But because we're friends, an excuse to not come in is so much easier with a friend than it is with somebody different.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you 3 pictures.
Okay.
So if you don't, do you mind me showing them online on YouTube?
No.
I mean, they're on.
They're already on there.
They're
It's
already
fine.
on there.
on Instagram anyway.
They're on
If you
Instagram
scroll far
anyway.
enough back.
So this one is a picture of yourself and your partner Paul in Dubai, and I just want to know a bit more about it. So that's the picture that I had a look at this morning. I just want to know what's going on in that picture. Why are you in Dubai? What's going on? What's happening in Gemma's life?
So I have a business coach, Adam Haley, fantastic guy, who moved over to Dubai before lockdown. And I got to a point with the business where you can have your fitness coaches, you can have your therapists, but then I needed someone to guide me with the business as well. So I invested in him, and I went out for a conference, a business conference. So we flew out. Paul came with me because he also did a presentation for all the other coaches that were going out on like IT and automations. And we were able to fly out together, and that was the first day of the business conference, sat in front of.
So I've screenshot this so I can just quickly get it out. But am I right in saying the next picture on that slide deck on Instagram is one of your ring?
I believe so,
Yeah. So is that where he proposed? Or was it something that happened before and you just sort of come out with it? And
No, it was. So we flew out. We had 3 or 4 days of work, and then we actually booked a few days on the end for ourselves because we'd never been that far. So we moved hotels, we had an amazing time, and it was, I think it was 2 days before we were due to fly back. We had moved hotels onto the Palm.
Yeah.
Makes me so happy. We'd moved hotels onto the Palm. We'd had an amazing day. We'd paddle boarding. We'd just gone for a meal in the hotel, and we were stood on the balcony, like looking back over the Palm and all the lights and everything. And we were watching the fountains in the distance, and everything went quiet. And I was like, 10 million down in one day.
What a guy.
What a guy.
Proposed.
Yeah.
The best bit was he proposed with a white silicone ring, so that when I'm lifting, I can still wear a ring.
Nice.
And we chose my ring together in Dubai and had it made while we were out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Imagine if you'd have turned around and you were on one knee and you were like, oh my God, Paul! Oh my God, yes!
And it just fallen over.
And you just
Just hurt me.
Just a knee. So that's a lovely story, Zach. Thank you for sharing that. My next one is, I think it's kind of selfish. We've already spoke about this, but I want to know a bit more about where you are.
Yeah. Okay.
What was happening in this picture. So for the listeners, Gemma is on stage competing.
It looks like she's got a medal on, so she's medal on.
Looks like you've got a medal on, and so it looks like you compete. I presume you're on stage competing, but talk us through that.
So that was, I think, the second to last show that I've ever done. You're right, on stage competing. 2018? I think 2019.
I don't know.
It's a screenshot, isn't it?
It's a screenshot,
Yeah.
so yeah.
And it was a PCA. I think it was the UK Championships.
Okay.
And I won my height category.
Yeah.
Which is what that photo's from. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I genuinely, from an aesthetic point of view, I think that is the best shape I've ever been in. Mentally, I was in an okay place at that point as well, which is why I think that photo is really special to me, because once leading up to that, you know, you can look at a photo and you think you look insane, you don't know what's going on inside those. With that one, it was great. It was a nice balance.
Do you miss competing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I miss being on stage. I miss the performance, getting glam, wearing bikinis.
Do you miss it for the competitiveness?
Yes.
Not for...
I don't miss the prep.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I do miss, the competition aspect, the being on stage, because, that's from a dance perspective.
Yeah.
In my background, that's
Yeah. What's stopping you going back on stage doing something?
I don't want the rigidity.
No.
No.
Okay.
Nutrition-wise, I think you've got to be in that frame of mind, and I'm just so far past that now.
Some people live like that all the time, don't they? And I just think, wow. I went through a stage where I was like, not trying to compete, because I don't think I could ever do it, but I was just like, I trained, I must have run to the gym, train at the gym, work, train, then go home and eat properly. And I did that 6 days a week, 7 days. And the 7th day I used to call it rest day. I'd go for a walk or something.
Yeah.
So I was in pretty good shape, but it almost literally killed me. I used to black out all the time.
Isn't it funny how something so good for his body can be so damaging for his body at the same time?
I used to just be stood up at work or just doing something,
fat
and my body would just
people.
go. My
I'm
body,
joking.
stay fat. My body would just go nope, and just close down, and I'd just black out and collapse.
Yeah.
Because of the lack of healthiness in my body.
Last picture. What were you doing on the 7th of November 2014?
Oh my god.
No idea.
No, it's another nice picture. I just want to know the story behind it. I couldn't really find. I could have probably picked out some ones on your nights out and things like that, but I didn't know if these were just generic nights out. You could have just been like.
there for nights out. I feel like I might have filmed
There's only maybe like, I don't know.
She's going to leave here straight away to leave.
I think I've already done that previously.
Yeah. But it's just you
Ah.
scuba diving.
Yeah.
Scuba
Steve.
Steve.
So yeah, what's going on?
So that is, I think where it was, Turkey. I went on holiday with my sister, and it was a scuba diving trip. And she booked on it with me as well and was ill, so she didn't come. So I went on this scuba diving trip on my own with a load of strangers. And it's
Sorry, I missed. So your sister was ill.
yeah, so she stayed in the hotel.
Oh right, and I thought she didn't just
Oh no, I didn't
not come
discuss
to the
Turkey on
holiday.
my own.
Oh right, okay.
So she stayed in the hotel, and I went out on the scuba diving trip.
Scuba driving.
Scuba driving.
Scuba diving.
Scuba driving.
These braces, I can't speak.
In my head, all I can think about is Ruben.
Ruben.
Yeah.
Expand on.
Have you never seen On Cape Polly?
No.
Oh,
Lost the joke.
Wasted.
Sorry. Yeah, wasted.
everybody listening who has seen On Cape Polly, if you've not seen it, watch it tonight.
Possible.
Why? It's one of the great. It's so funny. It is so funny. But you'll understand the joke if you've seen it. But yeah, it spoiled it now. I've just ruined the joke. You've ruined it.
So in Mauritius, was it Mauritius? I'm pretty sure it's been no.
Turkey.
All right.
You alright?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure I saw Mauritius somewhere. So it was in Turkey. Holiday, went out scuba diving. You like it? Something you'd experience. I'm quite. It's something that I would think about doing, but I'm honestly a bit scared of it. About being eaten. I don't like the thought of not knowing what's around, not being able to see far, not knowing what's down below. Things like that.
So when we went out on the boat, we stopped just off a cove, so you could see the bottom. The water was super clear.
Yeah.
So you knew what was around you, and because it's the first time, it was a beginner's trip. They only take you down like a certain distance because you've got to learn how to pop your ears and all that stuff. Have you ever tried popping your ears without yawning?
Yeah.
It's so difficult.
I never thought about it.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're obviously scuba diving, you've got the mouthpiece in and you can't yawn. You swallow all the water. So we went down 5 meters, which doesn't sound that deep.
But underwater.
But underwater, yeah. And I made the mistake of, they're saying you're okay, and I'm like, yeah, and that means when you go thumbs up, that means no, get me back up to the surface, not okay.
Right,
yeah. Okay. So I gave them the thumbs up. They freaked out. I'm like, no, I'm fine. Can't talk underwater. Went back up, and then we went back down to 10-meter depth to like a shipwreck.
Yeah.
You could look around, fed the fish underwater. It was great.
That's where I'd be scared.
Why?
Like if someone comes out,
Ooh.
an octopus just
Yeah. All his legs.
yeah,
You know?
just starts attacking me.
Yeah.
10 metres is a long way though.
You've watched too many horror films, I think.
I haven't. I hate horror films. I do not watch horror films at all.
Why?
It's just because I'm scared.
It's just a film.
It's a horror. Yeah, I know, but
It's not real.
yeah, it's not real, but I just don't like it. Thanks for talking us through them pictures. Thanks for coming on today. We know we are time constraint. We've got time constraints.
Yeah, we didn't want to go on for an hour and 45 minutes like we did.
No, yeah.
Because people found it boring after about 20 minutes.
Yeah. I think episode 2 was the longest, was it?
Yeah, that will probably be the longest.
Well, episode 2 was the longest one?
Yeah.
And then we found a good balance for like an hour 15 with number 3.
Yeah.
So yeah. Opinions or current events? You got any that you want to talk about?
I was just going to talk about just things that people do in the gym. Because obviously you go to the gym. I go to the gym. You used to go to the gym.
Yeah.
What's your pet peeve? What do you hate the most?
Swinging when people bicep curl.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I didn't think about that.
Okay.
Like ego
I'll
lifting.
stop doing that. I'll stop doing that. Yeah.
Lifting with their ego.
Yeah. Right.
I find it so difficult. I'm that person who I have to put my headphones in and literally walk away so that I'm not that annoying person who goes, excuse me.
You're doing it wrong. Yeah.
Can I just give you a bit of advice? Because not everybody wants advice from the training.
No.
What's your pet peeve at the gym?
People talking to you while you're training.
That
Yeah.
as well.
I've got my headphones in. Leave me alone.
Yeah, true.
If I don't have my headphones on, or I'm taking a little bit of a break or whatever, then fair enough. But when they come in like mid-set,
Yeah.
I don't want mid-set. People trying to spot you when you don't want to spot.
yeah, why
But
do you
you're
do that?
struggling and like,
Yeah.
I've got this.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's yours?
Mine is just people not putting equipment back. It
That's
pisses
always
me
a
off
big
big time.
Yeah.
It's just one of them that'll make everybody's training routine so much easier when you're not looking for something or trying to dig around to find the
Matching
tricep,
Yeah.
matching dumbbells, or one being kicked underneath the stand. And that always pissed me off. Did that when people didn't put the stuff back.
Yeah, but that's a different thing. You worked in the gym, we worked in the gym,
Yeah.
but that annoys me. Like I find myself sometimes when I go to the gym, I'm like, I'm gonna have to organise this. Like, I've got an 8 and a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other thing, because I was going to mention it earlier, is people that are well trained or people that attend the gym all the time that get shitty at people in January. That annoys me as well. Just because I feel like, in my world of work, there's a stigma. But in your line of work, there's also a stigma. And the word fitness to me is somewhat of a stigma. As in, when you think of the word fitness, you instantly think that you need to be doing 20 miles on a treadmill or proper smashing it out. And it's the same when you think of the word mental health, you don't think of the good side of mental health, you always think of the negative side. So that's the same in fitness as well. And people have to start somewhere, so it just pisses me off that I understand that they're annoyed because they've been there 12 months of the year and they've been there when the gym's at its quietest and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're used to having all the equipment to themselves. But these people are trying to start somewhere, and like you said, luckily we've got January to give ourselves new goals and to give ourselves new targets and stuff. It just happens that the people that are already there have managed to work it out in their routine that they can have them goals every Monday instead of once a year. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
So
just hit the nail on the head. Everybody has the same right to be in, whether it's a gym or a class or the swimming pool or walking in the park, as everybody else. So as long as you find something that works for you, don't be selfish.
Yeah, it just puts people off from going. Yeah. To be fair, like you see it on Facebook and social medias about like the new year, new me sort of thing, which is kind of funny. A lot of people do it for comedy value, but there's also a lot of people post like, "Oh, it's January, won't be able to get my space in the gym today."
Yeah.
And it's just that puts people off from going.
Go at 5 a.m.
Go at 5 a.m. Yeah, it does put people off from going.
So I've also got quick fire 5. So we have done this for a few episodes.
No, we did it on episode 1 and then we skipped for 2. So we'll bring it back for the guests.
Yeah, we'll bring it back for the guest.
Well, yeah, going forward, guests.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I got what you meant. So I've got quick fire 5. Some 5 questions that I just want to throw at you. Now, in the first episode we did this.
Right.
Logan went on for about 20 years with his answers.
Yeah.
Right, and I want quick fire.
Quick, what is it?
Right.
So, are you ready? Yeah.
No, but go on.
Right, home workout or gym workout?
Gym.
Ooh. Right, a gym routine or CrossFit?
Oh, you're going to be divided on this.
Boom.
Because I'm sure I've seen some pictures on your gram down at Boudica.
Gym.
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 Can I say why?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, okay.
Personally, it fits with my schedule better.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the camaraderie of CrossFit. I miss that when I'm going in the gym.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right, something different away from the gym. Because I feel like I always spoke about fitness. What's your favourite film? Do you not watch films?
I do, but I am the worst person to ask the names of films. I will watch it and not be able to tell you what it's called or who was in it.
Right, so if you don't have a favourite film,
I'm being completely honest.
I'll sub a question in here.
Poor.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
Yes!
not.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Oh, 1 second, it's just in here.
So,
Next question.
yeah, because I could. I'm pretty annoyed at that. Pretty annoyed at that question.
Oh, sorry, is Home Alone a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Cheers, mate.
No, it's not.
In the bin. See ya.
No, it's not.
Right, next question, please. You don't have your opinion.
Well, I had sweet or savoury, but you started with sweet or savoury. So you were sweet, right? So that answers question 4, because I'm not bringing another one. And then...
Well, Subin, what's your favourite food?
Thai.
Thai.
Right.
What's your go-to Thai food? Like, mine's massaman curry, if I'm getting Thai.
Yeah, that's man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's...
Or sushi.
Questions, right?
What?
Oh, well, that's a sub-question.
That,
Okay,
yeah, that was...
Yeah, that's part of 4. Right, so question 5, what's your go-to coffee?
Flat white.
Oh, no, flat white. Flat whites, I told you, they're a new thing, aren't they? Like,
The new in thing.
new
I need to find a different... I'm going to start drinking piccolos, I think.
pickle.
Do you know why I like flat whites over anything else?
Fast.
Not the speed I do. Because it's strong,
Yeah.
and you don't have too much milk. Like a
Yeah.
latte is great, but it's cold by the time you finish drinking it.
Helps remain the shreds.
Yeah. Right, just let me bring up this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Die Hard. For people who don't think Die
Oh,
Hard.
mate.
No.
Fuck.
Right? Die Hard, for people who don't think it's a Christmas film, right? I personally think it is, right? If you don't think it's a Christmas film, then Home Alone is not a Christmas film. I'll tell you why. Home Alone, yeah, is also based at Christmas, like Die Hard, right? But so what? Like, that's it. They're both based at Christmas. That's it.
I am willing to say on that statement that Home Alone could potentially not be a Christmas film, because Die Hard certainly is not.
Right, I've got something to throw into the mixer here now. Right? So,
Go on.
Home Alone 1 first came out on the 7th of December.
Yeah.
So build up to Crimbo, yeah? When
Yeah.
everyone's getting all movies ready and whatnot. Die Hard came out on 3rd of Feb.
Yeah. And?
So it's not a Christmas movie.
Spider-Man came out in December,
It's not a Christmas movie.
but it's not a Christmas film.
So when it came out, people aren't going to see it at the cinema thinking Christmas in mind. When Home Alone came out, people are thinking Christmassy.
Right. Listen, I'm done with that.
Listen, right. Yeah.
This is my opinion, and we're going to finish on this. Yeah. Harry Potter is a load of
Shut
shit.
up.
Do get out.
Yeah.
Shit. It's overrated, bad acting, and it's
There's
just
a part of me
bad.
that feels like Harry Potter's a Christmas movie too. Like,
Oh my
I agree.
God.
I agree. The first one is
Oh.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And then, because it's all Christmassy.
I watched every single Harry Potter film again last Christmas.
That is
Yeah.
awful. I feel for you.
I also watched all of the Lord of the Rings for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Harry Potter over Lord of the Rings.
So, yeah, I'm Harry Potter.
You weren't given Harry Potter a chance, mate.
I have.
You got to number 2 and stopped.
Yeah, because it's boring.
Number 3 is where
Dobby
it
dies.
starts to get. Number 1 and 2 are nostalgic.
Yeah.
Number 3 is where it starts to get good.
No.
Yes.
God, no.
And on that note.
On that note, yeah, we will call it a day. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for
Welcome.
being a part of Coffee Shop Opinions. I don't think we asked any questions that are career ruining.
No,
So
I don't think
I
that.
think we stayed safe on that one.
If you want to follow Gemma on Instagram or Facebook, it is
Get a pen and paper. At Gemma with a G _Nicole _Stanley.
it's like our app.
Yeah, you've got a million underscores in
We'll put that on. We'll put that on the photo or in the
little caption.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gemma _ Nicole _ Stanley.
Yeah.
And then on Facebook you have a page. Am I right?
Yeah, so the free page is called Ditch the Fad with Elevate.
Ditch the Fad with
If
Elevate.
you want to join, request, and we will see you in there.
get free shit.
Get free shit. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Shout out to Can of Water again.
Yeah.
Keeping us hydrated, and Castroni Coffee producing the best coffee around. And we will catch you all next time.
Oh, wait there.
Oh, what?
You also have a podcast.
You do have a podcast. Yeah.
You have to mention-
How did we not? How did we miss that
You
out?
have to bring that up. Shout out to Gemma's podcast.
So the podcast is called Elevate Your Life.
Yeah.
Or you can search Gemma Stanley on Spotify. Still fairly new, but going strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, loving it.
Good.
Nice.
So yeah, podcast. What's it about? Just a very quick, empowering.
Yeah, so we essentially cover all topics: health and fitness, mindset, how you can elevate your life, as cheesy as it sounds. But it's all relatable to myself and my coach Lynn, and how we've overcome struggles and obstacles ourselves as well.
Cool. So yeah, go check out Gemma Stanley on everything.
On everything.
Yeah, just Google her name.
Just
Instead of trying to type in
She's
these
got a
acts and
Wikipedia
stuff, just
page.
Google her name for Duke's
You know.
sake. Right, we'll call it a day there, eh?
Yeah, we will.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Again, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to have you,
Yeah.
and I hope you all have a good one.
Yeah.
This is the outro part where the music comes on. Peace.
Peace out.